Y'all, I went from homeless, addicted, and pregnant 12 years ago to building a multiple six-figure coaching business in less than a year. And today I have made over $650,000 as a coach. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it in this video. Those of you who have never seen me before, first of all, I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for tuning in and watching this video. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button below to catch more. There's new videos coming out every Monday where I'll be teaching you all things around the mindset, strategy, marketing, sales, all the tools you need to build a multiple six-figure business on social media as a coach, healer, or light worker. So I am so passionate about this work because of where I come from. So I wanted to take time today and just share a little bit about my story and how I became a coach and how I was able to build this business to what it is today, and the trials and the struggles and the challenges that I went through. Because I am a trauma-informed business coach, I help women with a history of trauma break through the patterns of sabotage and upper limits so that they can get more visible, make more money, help more people, and build brands that make a difference in this world and build businesses that change lives. And it's everything to me because of where I come from. Well, I have a history of trauma myself. That's what brought me to this work. And when I was 24 years old, I found myself in a detox facility for heroin addiction. I had been addicted to opiates and other drugs for almost 10 years at this time. And I had hit so many bottoms leading up to this point. But the thing that was different when I turned 24, when I walked into that detox facility, is that I was asking for help because I was scared and I didn't want to go to jail. I didn't want to have to detox again. For those of you who might be in recovery, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. And I was just so lost and broken. And as I was sitting waiting in the waiting room of this facility, they come out and they tell me that I'm pregnant and they can't take me. And that moment is a moment that changed everything in my life, because it was no longer about me. Now there was somebody else who I was going to be responsible for. And there was this moment where I didn't even believe them. I was like, you guys are lying. You're lying. They were not lying. I was very much pregnant. And I remember sitting in the car, driving home from that detox facility and thinking to myself, this has to be the end, because I always said I would never be the mom who was addicted or lost her child to the system because of addiction. I grew up in an alcoholic home. I know what that life can be like. And that was like the one thing I said I would never do that hadn't done, because everything else I said I would never do, I had done up until this point. And I made a decision that day that I was no longer going to use. And it didn't happen the next day or the day after, but with the results of God working in my life, I was able to be introduced to this person and be introduced to that person and have a court order that allowed me to go to a long-term treatment facility for 12 months, one whole year, in a state-run detox and treatment facility for pregnant women and children. And I can tell you that that was the most humbling experience of my entire life. It was also where I learned what I'm capable of. It was also where I discovered my relationship with a higher power. And it was where I started to learn that the inner work that we do for ourselves, and therapy and trauma work and the healing work that we do and energy work and acupuncture and the body and the mind and all of these things, that when they're put together, you're held in space with another human who's witnessing you and providing you these tools and guiding you through the path. This is the transformational work that saves lives, but also builds greatness. Because while I was in that facility, I learned about myself. I healed so much of my past trauma. And during that time, I learned how to be in relationship with other people, how to be in relationship with myself. And I discovered my purpose while I was there. I realized that I wanted to become a therapist, just like the counselors and therapists that were helping me there. And so at 24, pregnant and homeless and in a treatment facility, I decided to go back to school, go back to college. And I tell you, I was addicted for 10 years prior to getting sober. So I dropped out of college at 14. I got my GED the same year I dropped out. So I was kind of ready. I had the diploma. But when I got to college, that took so much courage and so much bravery to take a bus from a homeless facility pregnant to a college and show up and say, I belong here. And the only reason that I was able to do that was because of the deep inner work that I did with the mentors I had in the recovery program, the deep inner work I did with the therapist there, and the work I did with the coaches that they had at that facility, because they had women who were healers and life coaches. They would come in and they would meet with us and they would talk to us. And I started to learn who I was, and I started to build my courage muscle there. And I went back to school, and I spent the next 8 years getting my master's in clinical social work and working in treatment facilities, from the 8 hours a week of behavioral health technician all the way through every single promotion to lead tech, to supervisor, to operations, to case manager, to group facilitator, to primary therapist. And I remember I spent this entire 8 years working up to this point while still attending my recovery meetings. I built a side business where I was selling healing jewelry on Etsy. And I was only able to do those things because of these 3 things. And I want you, if you're listening right now, if you don't have a pen and paper, like, go get one and write these down. These 3 things are how I was able to not only overcome my addiction to heroin and become a sober mother to my daughter, overcome the adversity of being somebody who was rebuilding their life after homelessness and addiction as a single mother, to go back to school, to get to build a career, to get a master's degree, to become a therapist, and everything else I'm going to tell you that came after. These 3 things, and I'm give you a bonus one at the end, so make sure you watch to the end, but these 3 things are everything. Number 1, faith. I built a connection to a higher power. Whoever that higher power is for you, I don't care. It's none of my business. But I built a connection with something bigger than myself. I healed the trauma and shame that I carried from my childhood and built a connection with my inner child. And every single day I practice courage. I practice courage every single day by connecting with other people, allowing myself to be witnessed, taking big, brave, messy action every single day. Those 3 things, my ability to take those risks and do that work, are exactly why I was able to build the business I have today and bounce back from addiction when so many people are unable to do that. There's so much more there. But if I had to give you 3 things, there's definitely 3 things. And underneath those, there's a list and list and list. And it's exactly what I do with my clients to help them heal the pain from their past so that they can build wildly successful businesses. So after I graduated with my master's degree, I thought I had arrived, y'all. I was like, this is my dream career. I'm here. I love it. Da, 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 da. But also, about a year before I graduated, I started watching YouTube videos, and I was listening to all these coaches and educators, and they were just giving so much away for free, and they were just helping me so much on my own personal development journey, because every new level requires a new version of you. So you're going to be called to do deeper work. You're going to be called to understand yourself on a deeper level. You're going to be called to make bigger and braver moves. And so I started to expand upon not just the psychology and the healing work that I have been doing for the past decade, but now I started to move more into the personal development. And I got excited about, what is this entrepreneurship? Like, yes, I've ran a side hustle for the past 5 or 6 years, selling jewelry on Etsy and doing farmers markets and all of these things. But like, wouldn't it be amazing if I could do this too? So I started making videos, and I posted them on Facebook, and I had a YouTube channel called The Recovered Social Worker. And I just wanted to educate people. And that's exactly what I did. And I started researching, how do you build a personal brand? Like, how do I build a brand? How do I become somebody who makes a huge impact in the world? How do I get paid for doing what I love at an even higher level? Because at this point, I'm about to graduate. I'm starting to realize that the income cap for therapists and social workers is less than what I desired and deserved for the work that I was putting in, because this is a very strenuous job, and social workers and therapists are very prone to burnout because the corporate structures don't really support the mental health of the employees who are working in that field. And I was seeing this. I was in the trenches seeing this. I was doing an internship. I was working in treatment facilities, and I was in school working with clients and students and teachers, and just I was in it. And I'm like, this is maybe not where I want to be for my entire life. And so I graduated and I got my dream job as a primary therapist at the treatment facility I had been working at for the past 6 years. And I remember waking up one morning and sitting behind my desk, getting to work, sitting behind my desk and crying, because I was like, I really want to have my own business, and this is not where I'm supposed to be anymore. And it just all hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm like, I worked the past 8 years to get this position, to go to school, to do all these things. And now I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so about a week later, I left my 9 to 5 and I was like, I'm starting my coaching business. This is it. This is for me. I'm going to trust my path. I'm going to trust where source is leading me. I'm going to listen to my heart and I'm going to go. I'm going to make a big, brave move. I'm going to practice that courage muscle. I'm going to build that courage muscle. And I started my coaching business and I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Like, I knew how to market and brand because of the educational videos and influencer work I was doing and running my Etsy business. And I had done some marketing for the mental health corporations that I worked for. I had no idea what I was getting into with building a coaching business. I thought it was going to be like, I got this. I tell everybody I'm a coach and I have 100 clients. Not how it worked at all. So I spent 6 months with no clients figuring it out. And then I invested in a course that was $997. And I thought it was the most money in the whole entire world. And it taught me how to do email marketing and launching, which was not what I needed at the time at all. I needed to learn how to do organic marketing, how to post, how to connect with clients, how to build relationships online, how to build a brand, how to build a program, how to sell that program, how to sell to clients. And I was learning launching and email marketing, which was useful, but not what I needed at that time. So I launched a program and I signed no one. And here I am, no job, 6 months in, no clients, failed launch. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But I know who I am. And I bet you know who you are too. And I know what I'm capable of. And I know that this is for me. And so I invested again. I invested in one-to-one coaching. And within 45 days, I had my first $10,000 month, which was absolutely insane. That would have taken me like 4 months to make at my old job. And I was like, oh my God, like this is possible for me. I never really believed that it wasn't possible for me, but that failed launch really kicked me in the butt. But I knew that this was going to come for me. And I used all of the work that I had done, all of the inner work that I had done up until this point is why I was able to scale my business so fast. Because of the inner work I did, because of the nervous system regulation, because of the belief restructuring, because of the trauma healing, because of the daily practices I had in place for my mental health and my well-being, and knowing how to reprogram the mind and knowing how to regulate the body, I was able to scale very quickly. Within my first year, I had made over $200,000. By the end of the 16 months, like the last half of the year and my full year full time, I made $340,000 in sales in my online coaching business, only using Instagram and Facebook. And the reason I was able to do that is because of all of the work that I continuously do on myself every single day, because I had the courage to believe in myself, because I had the courage to invest in myself, because I'm so deeply embodied in the work that I teach, because I care so much about helping other women build wealth, because I believe that rich women will change the world. And so it's very important to me to help coaches, healers, light workers, counselors, learn how to share their gifts with more people and make more money, because I know that by doing that, we are raising the global consciousness, and those women are going to multiply everything that they receive, the money, the impact, the service, the love, all of it. And they're going to create massive change in this world. And that's what drives me every single day. And so being really connected to my why, being connected to my mission, knowing how to do the inner work, being able to share those tools with the clients that I help so they don't have to sabotage themselves, so that they don't end up in a cycle of burnout, so that they don't hold themselves back from being all that they could be, and breaking through those upper limits that not only we have inside of us because of conditioning from childhood, but also societal conditioning on women about who we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to look and how we're supposed to sound and what we're allowed to have and all of these things, and breaking through all of those belief systems so that women can rise up and build wildly successful businesses and not hold themselves back because of patterns of sabotage or their past. And this work that I have done, this work that I continue to do, is life-changing. And I believe in it deeply. And I believe in it so deeply because it's why I was able to go from homeless, addicted, and pregnant, living in a treatment facility, to building a multiple six-figure business that's still growing, on track to be a seven-figure business, and a world-changing brand that helps females be empowered all over the globe and build wealth for themselves, break generational patterns, and build businesses that make a difference. And so I'm thanking you all so much for coming. I hope that this story helps you see what's possible for you. The reason I share my story is so that you can see that there is nothing in your past that can hold you back unless you let it. Because I had everything in my past. I had so much trauma from childhood up into being homeless and addicted on the streets for like almost 6 years, and becoming who I am today. Like, I had so many reasons why I shouldn't be here. There's so many statistics that say it's not possible for me, that I should be homeless or have chronic mental health issues or not able to succeed at the levels I have. But that's not my story, because I chose not to let it be my story. And you don't have to choose to let it be your story either. You don't have to choose any story right now that's keeping you small, that's disempowering you, to still be the story moving forward. You can change that right now. So my bonus one for all of you is get support, get mentorship, get part of a community, because that was really the foundation that I still build upon to this day, is having mentorship and recovery in my business, in my emotional healing. Having mentorship and a guide in that place, and then having support and community around me of like-minded women who get it and understand what this path is like, and can witness you and hold you in all of your struggles and triumphs. So that is my fourth bonus tip for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about how to grow a wildly successful coaching business on social media, make sure to hit subscribe below. There'll be new videos coming out every Monday that'll give you tons of value and tons of actionable steps that you can take to grow your business. So expect tips, tricks, inspiration, and a little bit of motivation to kick you in the butt so that you can grow the business that you deserve to have and create the wealth that you deserve to have as well. So I'll see you on the next one.